You go on a walk and you see an old man sitting in the park and you just, wow, what's he lived in his lifetime, the things he's seen, it's pretty amazing.
Our culture is about youth and vibrancy and, you know, excitement and new ideas, and that's great. But I really like that this film shows you an entire character's life in the first 20 minutes. And then it brings you to where he is at 78 years old. And that's got an incredible amount of depth to it.
I had done a drawing of a guy, a grouchy old guy, holding a bunch of really happy, fun, colorful balloons.
And it just seemed like a great sort of juxtaposition of such happy colors with kind of guy. And so out of that, you know, we thought there was something there, so we just started developing a story from that.
In a way, someone Carl's age is the perfect character for one of these films because it's all about stories. Carl's loaded with stories. His whole life is this amazing story.
We basically studied old men and their anatomy, and we had tons of books, and we even went to a old folks home and just kind of quietly observed everyone. And you have to have a respect for aging, because it's an accomplishment.
Working with Ricky Nirva, our lead artist, we developed a vocabulary, and Carl is all about squares and boxes, and he's very solid, very stuck in his ways.
We wanted him boxed in. He's boxed inside his house, he stays within his walls, so we created a character that essentially is a square.
And he's very caricatured. He's probably one of the most caricatured humans we've ever designed and or animated.
His head is 1/3 of his body.
I have a big head. His head is like 5 times bigger than my head.
We wanted to create an essence of an old man. With age comes storytelling in every line and every single pore. And we studied how elastic their faces are. Really, what are the most important wrinkles on the face? There's the nasal labial fold and the accessory jugal fold. The crow's feet are important. The stuff on the forehead are important. All the other things we just shaded in to make sure that we can get age in there.
You know, you tend to kind of animate things you're familiar with, and I think we've got a fairly young crew, so we've got to really observe our grandparents and observe what happens to us as we age. There's a limitation to the way old people move.
It still feels a little like sort of active at the very beginning.
It does feel kind of quick in there when he leans, when he gets back into place.
Carl's really about minimal movement, minimal expressions.
My first instinct was to do the same stuff I do with Woody, which is a lot of overlap and follow through with fingers, because that's what makes the shots look beautiful and loose. And then I got in there and realized that's not the way Carl would move. He's old, arthritic. He wouldn't be able to fluidly move his fingers like this, because being an old man, you start to stiffen up.
When he turned, he would have to turn like this instead of turning like this. And just doing that makes him feel that much older. Yes, there are a lot of limitations on this character, but that is going to free you up to make those new sort of fresh choices with the acting and the way he moves.
I was trying to find ways to either think of my own grandparents or to look at old films and find mannerisms that were of that generation. I didn't want to be a young person putting our own contemporary physical expressions onto the character. So we always try to think of what were things our grandparents would do. How would they act something out?
Adventures out there. It's really him. That's Charles Muntz.
It is? Who's Charles Muntz?
Muntz and Carl both want the same thing. They want Kevin. Carl wants it so that he can set it free and gain Russell's trust and friendship. Muntz wants it so he can have fame and adulation and go back to New York and be back at the top of his game. So, of course, they're going to have to come to loggerheads and fight over that at some point.
And just the two of them fighting, I think the idea of those things in contrast is so funny. And the animators did such a good job with the physics of it that, you know, when Muntz and Carl get their back stuck, You just buy in, and it's so funny because it's so believable.
Make it as funny and specific and unique as you can. We've all seen plenty of action fights. How would it be if a 90-year-old man and a 78-year-old man are fighting, right? What are the things they have to deal with?
Any last words, Fredrickson? Come on, spit it out!
And then there was also the other school of thought, which is, how do we keep this serious and feel like there are actual stakes, that it's not just a joke, that they're all gonna laugh and go home and nothing bad's gonna happen. It's gotta do both of those.
Somehow, there's a smattering of all the old people in our lives who are working on it ends up in Carl. So that's awesome.
I think this film, in a way, it's a way to say thank you to them.
There's a connection that, and a real knowledge and wisdom, I think, that you gain by having older people in your life. It would be great if grandparents, for this film, were able to take their grandkids and both sit and watch the movie and feel sort of a connection there. And that's the theme of the film, that the meaningful adventure in life is the relationships we share with each other.